Hello, hello, and welcome to the Royds Review Podcast. I'm Rob.
And I'm Andy.
I'm Mark.
And we are back with a little bonus episode where we are ranking the movies in the Star Wars universe. Guys, how are you, Tooniverse?
That's pretty good.
That's
Rob.
good. Solid. Doing good.
Thanks.
Doing
Thanks.
good. How are you, Bobby? Sorry.
I'm doing well. I didn't know if Andy was going to say something.
How are you, Andrew?
I'm doing good. I'm good.
Oh,
I'm good.
shit, that was good too.
Yeah.
Now, Andy, you do a rhyme.
God
Shit.
damn it.
We have covered all of the movies in the Skywalker Saga, and we are going to rank them. We got 11 movies on here because we are including the Christmas special and Rogue One.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now, is Solo in this saga?
I can rank it.
Yeah, but you haven't seen it, right, Andy?
You haven't seen it
I
yet.
have not. Yeah. I don't give it a shit.
We'll include Solo.
We
Why
could-
the H not? We didn't cover it for the podcast. And if you really want us to, send us an email and tell us.
Yeah.
roydsreview@gmail.com.
Solo,
Never-
I can't hear you.
Nice.
And
Excellent, Andy.
are the Ewok movies involved in this, Robbie?
Absolutely not. You know what? You know what we're going to do? For the sake of it, we're actually going to start our list. I'm going to put right here in F, Ewok movies.
Great. And the Avengers, where do they fit into this?
You know what, Mark? I think they're pretty high up.
Do you think that at some point Disney's going to get so desperate because they're going to run all their franchises into the ground? At some point, there's going to be a Star Wars Avengers crossover.
hope so.
100%. Didn't they?
I hope
They've
so.
already done comics with that.
Yeah.
Have they?
I think it would be a bigger shock if it was actually a DC and Marvel. I mean, again, they've done comics of that too, but
And they have a new
Yeah.
one coming out, another DC Marvel
they
crossover.
do. They just made.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do.
I bet you, depending on how popular that is or how well it does, I wouldn't be surprised to see that somewhere down the line.
Yeah. Especially with James Gunn over there now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And with Warner Brothers doing anything for a buck.
And,
Yeah.
and James Gunn specifically said that he'd love to do that. So
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
James Gunn would make it good because James Gunn just makes good stuff. Let's be honest.
It would be very interesting, the politics of that. Watching both sides of it, try to be like, no, you can't get more hits in on this guy. Because now, and in that way, it makes more sense than when you have actors doing it. Because in
Yeah.
this scenario, you are genuinely trying to preserve the aura of characters.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And like, in that world, it's going to be like pro wrestling. Neither side is going to want their team to look bad.
yeah.
Right.
Because
You're
you don't
gonna
want...
You're gonna have like Superman holding Mjolnir or Wonder Woman holding Mjolnir, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
some cool
Yeah.
shit like that.
If it's Wonder Woman, a bunch of people will complain that it's woke.
Yeah.
Well,
For
that people
sure.
are gonna complain about that no matter what. I think. But,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think it would probably just be Civil War, but instead of two Marvel sides, it would be two DC sides, and then there'd be some dark side / Thanos guy that they both have to team up
Yeah.
to fight at the end. So it would be just,
Yeah.
well, my name is Martha, whatever type of situation.
Yeah.
I think it'd be
Yeah,
more like the War of 1812.
Kuya.
Because he said it'd be like the Civil War.
Right. That's pretty
I'd like
good,
if it was like Apocalypse Now.
Guys, are you ready to rank the Star Wars movies?
Yes.
We are doing a tier list, SABCDEF, which of course is an acronym for Santa always brings clothes
During.
DEF. During
Easter
Easter
Friday.
Friday. Yep, Santa always brings clothes during Easter Friday.
We did it.
That's excellent, guys.
All right, so where should we start there, Robbie?
I was going to ask you guys this. We could put up to a vote. Do we want to start with the OG trilogy? Do we want to start with how the in chronological order, where it's the Phantom Menace first, or do we want to get the other ones out of the way? Christmas Special, Rogue One, and Solo. How would you guys like to start it?
Should we go from the bottom up? Like, what are the F movies? What are the E movies?
I would say, what? Let's do the order in which we recorded them on the podcast. So,
Okay.
like, we started with
Makes
the prequels, right?
That is true.
So let's start there. Let's start there. The Phantom Menace.
Let's do it. Phantom Menace, in my opinion, has some good moments. Pod racing's cool. Darth Maul is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That's it.
That's also true.
But it's boring as shit.
It is.
It is boring.
I would say. I mean, it's better than the Ewok movies, I guess. It's hard
Yes.
to quantify, but I think so.
Having not seen the Ewok movies, like Robbie said, there is some good stuff in the Phantom Menace. The fight at the end and the that's good stuff.
Qui-Gon's noble end.
Yeah, I mean, Qui-Gon's a great character, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, totally incompetent.
Yeah, and a gambling addict, but yeah.
I am not here to free the slaves. All right, dude.
Hey, why
Put a
not,
bet
though?
down.
Why am I rooting for you?
Yeah, but why not? You could kill a man by looking at him. Just
Yeah.
free the slaves, man.
And also, he falls for the oldest trick in the book. He goes to Zabulba, and he's like, "I'm the only one with this motivator." He's like, "Oh, okay, I guess that's the end of my journey then." Like, he doesn't even bother going to one other shop at all.
Yeah, I would say I'm between D and E because
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
I want to go
No.
D because I think this is better than other things we're going to cover. And I just think it's a D tier. I would even consider a C tier at times.
Relax, Robbie.
Okay, I'm saying C. I'm not even giving it a B. I'm giving it a C. So
I agree. Phantom Menace is better than other stuff on the list, and those things are also better than the Ewok movies. I think the Ewok movies are a good, litmus there. So D
All
is
right,
fine
I mean-
for me.
I would. So I remember when we did this.
Yeah.
And you did say as we were doing, you were like, I like this movie.
yeah, I do
And that's-
enjoy it.
Yeah, and that's no slight to you, you fucking dick. But like, I don't know. I just can't get. I remember watching this as a kid and being like, this is Star Wars.
It's a bad introduction.
People like this, and then I watched it again as an adult. And I had the exact same reaction.
Even as a kid, you knew it was shit.
Yeah, I was like, as a
Like,
kid,
you
I
were
was
the
like,
key
this
demographic.
this is boring. Nothing's happening.
A
Now,
lot of
and-
Senate stuff.
Andy, would it have been better with Michael Jackson in the movie?
Was that on the table?
Yeah, didn't
Yeah,
Michael
he
Jackson
was-
want to play Jar Jar?
You wanted to play Jar Jar. That was part of
Like-
my trivia.
Yeah,
God.
Michael
So-
Jackson wanted to be a live action Jar Jar, and George
Yeah.
Lucas was like, absolutely not.
No, they met about it. Like it got pretty far on the table, and
That's
then
insane.
finally, George Lucas was like, you know what? I'm gonna make one good decision on this movie.
No, listen, let me tell you something. You have Michael Jackson in that role, it's 10 times better. Jar
Just
Jar-
dancing around. I just
Oh.
imagine him fully just regular dress, like in his red leather jacket, like not
Yeah.
even trying
One
to be a
glove.
Star Wars character.
See, I'm imagining, though, he's not using the high-pitched voice. He's using his real voice.
Yeah, he's like, hey, what's up?
And he's like
Yeah.
really threatening to people now. It's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You better give it up or I'm gonna kill you.
Misa Jar Jar Binks.
Well,
I'm comfortable with D.
nice. You know what? I actually to remind myself of how I felt about these movies.
This
I
is
listened-
how I remind me. Right?
Yep.
Yep. But I listened back to my songs, and this song that I wrote for The Phantom Menace, I believe, is called "What Do You See," and it was about Qui-Gon dying and being like his dying wish is to Obi-Wan. He's like, "Hey, take care of that kid that I pseudo adopted," and Obi-Wan's like, "The fuck."
Yeah.
This
No
wasn't
pressure.
my
and he
idea.
dies.
Yeah, and so it was about that, but I also recognized at the time, I didn't know, but now looking back, the song's in 7/4.
Mm.
They call me
Fancy.
Prog Rock Andy.
Is that what they call you?
That's what they call
Yeah.
it.
But yeah, I would say D or E, but I'm fine with D. I don't give a dick.
All right, let's go. Mark, you cool with D?
That's fine.
We are ranking The Phantom Menace in D, which means we are going to Attack of the Clones, which is awful.
E, yeah. A for awful.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think Attack of the Clones is better.
I
No.
know.
No.
I think I think that Attack of the Clones is like maybe more entertaining of a movie, but it's such a mess.
Attack of the Clones
Yeah.
is a CGI, ugly, boring nothing.
It's the ugliest one for sure.
It's very unclear. They can't decide on, like, at least I think Phantom Menace, like, the characters at least stay true to the way they're written, and like the story makes sense. And Attack of the Clones is like Obi-Wan's telling Anakin, it's like, you can't be so impulsive and rash, and then 2 minutes later he jumps out of a window to catch a droid to fly through the city. Like, I would call that impulsive and he's like, we're not trying to find out who did this, and then he does the exact opposite of all of that. They characterize him for 3 minutes and then just throw that all out the window with Obi-Wan.
Now, Grievous is Attack of the Clones, right? General Grievous. That's where we meet General Grievous.
No, that's Sith.
No, he's
Oh.
he's the next one.
Okay, yeah. Then you know what? Yeah, fuck Attack of the Clones. E.
Yeah, but what about Count Dooku?
He's good. He's in the next one too. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he gets his hands lopped off. That's pretty
Yes.
Yeah.
cool. But
You
you
know,
know what?
I think the
I-
best part about this is Yoda finally getting to see Yoda with a lightsaber.
Yeah, that's cool. So what I like about it is, because again, I went back and I listened to my song, and my song talks about how Anakin is conflicted, and the movie doesn't do a very good job of showing any of the good stuff. But the good stuff is there. It's just like subtext.
Andy, if
But,
you have
like-
to imagine the good stuff,
No,
then
I
it's
understand.
not in the movie.
I completely like this is still a bad movie.
Like,
I'm just saying.
you're giving you're like creating things and going, yeah, I
Yeah.
like that.
It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah. But like the movie, but the movie implanted that in my mind. You know, like I didn't just like fart that out of my butt. Maybe
That's why
I did.
that's why you didn't really like The Godfather. You're like, I don't like Italians, so
Yeah.
Pretty sure whatever happens on screen is the only thing that counts.
yeah.
Yeah. But here's what's going on in that, because he's saying, or Obi-Wan's saying like, hey, your emotions, they're no good,
all
man.
Obi-Wan says is hello there.
That's true. But
That's
he's like
again the
saying,
third one.
Anakin,
I clearly remember nothing but how ugly this movie was.
it is very ugly, but he's like, Anakin, your emotions, like, they're no good. Like, Jedi, we don't have emotions. We just, like, do. And Anakin's like, no, but I'm feeling, like, a lot of feelings. Matter of fact, I love this woman. Right? So, like, that's new, but, like, I'm not supposed to feel love. Right? So, like, to my master, my emotions make me weak. But to you, Padme, I am strong. And, like, that's a cool thing.
Sure.
But they don't do it's because George Lucas doesn't know how to do anything.
Yeah, you're right though. There is a really cool, and they kind of briefly touch on it later with the other movies where Luke Skywalker is like, oh, the Jedi were flawed and blah blah blah. It's like they're sort of like control of the way that the Jedi had to act was what led to their, like, if they just said, yeah, you can love Padme, then none of that probably would have happened. You know, like,
Yeah.
allowing him to have feelings. It's like modern day, you know, like we just need to, like, more psychology and like talking about your feelings and like getting stuff and working through stuff instead of just being like, no, Anakin, just use your laser sword and forget about that.
Right. Stop feeling. But
I
like,
mean, this also could have been avoided if they just brought his mom with them.
Yeah.
yeah. And that's one cool part in that movie is where he finds out, like, his mom, or he finds his mom and then she dies, and then he's like, oh, I killed everybody.
Yeah, he slaughters that whole, like...
That's cool.
Yeah. Including
But-
children. And he's very clear, like, I even killed the
Yeah.
kids. It's like,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
dude.
He was just warming up.
Padme-
Warming up for the big game.
Hey, man,
Padme-
you're really
Pad-
tenting as you're saying that. That's a little weird.
Well, Padme stays with them too. She's like, oh, nah, well, it'll pass.
They were
Like,
just
ah,
sand
dude,
people.
it's a red flag. She killed kids.
They were
What are you
just
talking
sand
about?
people.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently, this was
I think that's what Bush said, too.
George.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the whole prequel trilogy is like an allegory for the Bush
Yeah.
administration, according to George
Right.
Lucas.
But, like, the thing is, the things we just mentioned, and, all right, The Phantom Menace is what it is. You could make that a much better movie, for sure. But, like, what I just said about the Clone Wars, like, that, I don't know if this is the right word, dichotomy.
You didn't even watch the Clone Wars.
Attack of the Clones.
Robbie, blow it out your sweet supple behind.
I didn't like that at all.
Oh yeah, I didn't. The
But,
backhanded compliment there.
yeah, a little bit of both worlds. But like the whole like, oh, your emotions make you weak, but also to her I am strong because of my emotions. You could make such a good movie with that.
Oh yeah.
But they shit the bed so hard.
Oh yeah. Really? I mean, even before any of that, they left so much intrigue when in the original trilogy, just briefly mentioning the Clone Wars and his fight. Like they had a lot of really interesting stuff they could, like, imagine what, like, if Attack of the Clones was like two different, like, you didn't know who was who and who was a clone, like some kind of secret, like, you know, and it was just like, no, the good guys are clones, the bad guys are not. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
that's what's so fun about clones, is knowing exactly what side they're on, right? Like that's
Right.
what's fun in movies about clones.
This fucking sucks, man. So I'm cool with E, I guess. I just wanted to plead my case.
Yeah. No, that you're right though. That is a really cool. He had some like little inklings of good ideas that just got mixed up in a whole bunch of nonsense, I think.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't have happened because it was just him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if you have if it's like a studio interference thing, I could be like, oh, that sucks. But it's like when you're the only guy doing it, you don't have that excuse of like why it got all fucked up. You're just bad at what you do.
Yeah.
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 Or you made a bad movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far we got Ewok movies at F, Attack of the Clones at E, Phantom Menace at D.
Looking good, guys. Well,
Oh,
what a great start.
Star Wars is great.
Let's go to Revenge of the Sith. This is easily the strongest of the prequels.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
The last 45 minutes to an hour of this movie are great.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Dooku's cool. Grievous is cool. The beheading with the double lightsabers is cool.
Do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hovering in A or B for Sith. So talk me down. Talk me wherever you guys want to go.
That seems high still, personally.
This was the first movie of Star Wars where I was like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
I would give it a C, personally.
okay. I don't know. I'd go C or B.
We could hover in between.
Because it is a mess. It is an absolute mess.
It's still a mess. And you know why the last 45 minutes are great? Is because those are the 45 minutes of storytelling that everybody wanted to see for the first 3 movies, and he jammed it all into 45 minutes.
Yeah,
Now,
He had
like, oh,
3
shit.
movies to tell that story, and he crammed it into
do
like
it.
half an hour.
He dicked around. That's because most of Star Wars is dicking around.
Yeah, he had 3 movies to figure out why Yoda was on Dagobah and why, like, Obi-Wan's in hiding. But no, they're just like, okay, Yoda, you go to Dagobah. Obi-Wan, you go to Tatooine. Everyone go to exactly where they're going to be in 20 years.
Now, George Lucas claims there's a 4-hour cut of Revenge of the Sith. Would you watch it?
Yes.
So would I.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Which to me bumps that to B. If we
There's
would
the-
willingly watch the 4-hour cut of this movie,
I would watch anything. I would watch a 4-hour cut of Phantom Menace, though. Like, I just
That's-
watch anything Star Wars.
well, that's insane. Because I wouldn't.
There is
Like-
supposedly a longer, better cut of Phantom Menace, and I'm like, I don't know how adding stuff to that movie is going to make it better, but okay.
exactly.
The problem wasn't enough stuff, isn't it? Like, that's not the issue.
Right.
Like that's why when I'm hovering between B and C, that's kind of why I'm bumping it to B, because like I would watch that longer cut just to see what he cut out of that movie, just to see what else he thought would have been worthy of the story there, considering they had 45 minutes of a story and dragged it out over 3 movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would say, and this is completely irrelevant, if we were ranking the music for all these, it's all S.
Oh yeah,
Well, John
no,
Williams,
absolutely.
I
John
mean,
Williams,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. He's cooking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say skoo-koo-koodaloo, 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 you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That
He's like, I have all
unfortunately
this.
is not a ranking.
Yeah. Damn.
S. There was a lot of S sounds in there.
All right. So Revenge of the Sith, I guess we're going to S.
Just the song "Duel of the Fates."
Okay.
I would go, I don't know. If it's C, it's in the higher.
Yeah.
A high C?
A high C.
All right. So we're drinking a nice high C with Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge.
Yeah.
I could sleep at night with that. Yeah.
Oh, good. I was concerned about your REM patterns.
I always drink a bunch of high C before I go to sleep.
Oh no. I have horrible diabetes. Should we get into the OG trilogy? That's not really a rhyme, I guess.
I believe the next one we did was Rogue One.
Rogue One. I like Rogue One a lot.
Yeah, I'd give that an A.
So I enjoyed it, but I only enjoyed the last 45 minutes because it was the war.
Andy is a warmongerer.
I didn't understand the first half of the movie because I hadn't seen the original trilogy yet.
That's fair.
So if I were to watch this now, I'd probably be like, oh, that's fucking banger.
Yeah.
But like at the time I was like, I'm confused.
Yes.
Which is fair. Yeah. This is one of those movies you do kind of need to know what's going on ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the last 45 minutes were really, really, really good.
It's very refreshing to watch a movie. Now, I know the good guys lose in a few of these movies, but it's very refreshing to just be like, oh, everyone dies at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's we're not seeing any of these people ever again. They're dead. D-E-D, dead.
But apparently there were two endings, and the writer was very surprised when Disney was like, yeah, that's fine. They're like, wait, really?
Well, without the ending, this movie's ruined, because then it's going, where the fuck are all these people?
I guess it's a big rebellion. They're off in some other ship.
Yeah, I know, but like, if they were such a big part of like the resistance up until this point, oh, don't worry about them, never mentioned again. You gotta kill them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but like they die like a quote unquote honorable death. You know, like they did it.
Yeah,
they do the thing, and then that fucking Vader scene at the end.
Oh yeah,
boy, you're
awesome. Yeah.
You know what? I like that they don't like kiss. I like that they just like hug each other and hold hands on the beach and wait for death. Like they're not like I guess there was kind of an underlying romance, but they're just like that. That's not what this movie is. You know? Like,
right?
Yeah.
They love each other. That's all you need to know. Who cares if they kiss?
And it's very realistic. Like even if you're not in love with that person, like you're both about to die, you're gonna hold each other.
Yeah, you're just gonna embrace. Yeah.
You could be next to a total stranger, and the two of you are gonna grab each other just out of fear.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very real thing. So, I do. I think this is an A-tier movie. I think this is really good.
I'm cool with that. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
For me.
Look at that.
It was crazy. Like, which one of those was the Rogue One, though?
It was the ship.
That was the ship. I gotcha.
They were like, this is Rogue One. They're like, there's no Rogue One.
I remember the running joke on that episode was like, oh, she's the Rogue One.
Yeah.
She's the Rogue One.
No, it's not Andy.
It was Alan Tudyk. Alan Tudyk.
Oh, yeah.
Alan Tudyk.
Mr. Diphallic himself. I guess we should rank Solo very quickly, even though we did not cover it on this podcast. Let us know if you'd like us to. I think Solo is a fun little heist movie, but it is not a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I mean, what they were trying to do, I think, there were a lot of the Disney Star Wars stuff is they were trying to use the Marvel formula a little bit, and Marvel did a good job at like being like, oh, now this one's a comedy, and this one's a heist movie, and this one's a political thriller. So I think they were like trying to get their toes a little wet like that. But yeah, it's not really a very good Star Wars movie, but it is fun.
It's fun. I think Paul Bettany is very good in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Woody Harrelson's fun. He's always fun. The Darth Maul scene is kind of like, oh, if you haven't watched the TV shows, this is kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think they figured that, and they're like, oh, it would be an even bigger surprise to everybody that thinks he's dead. So
yeah. I kind of want to put this in C or D.
I'd say C.
All right.
I think there's a little bit of, the same problem with Revenge of the Sith, where it's like, oh, now he meets Chewbacca and he gets the Millennium Falcon and he meets Lando. It's just like, okay, we don't need to see all that one movie.
Yeah, and we find out how he gets the last name Solo, if anyone was wondering.
How come we don't have a Luke Skywalker prequel where we get how he got his name? Like, who cares?
Well, we saw that when they went Luke and Leia.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. They did do that too. My bad. That one felt a little bit more natural though. That like they'd be named at birth.
What I want to know how Lumpy got his name. Like, was he born with was he born with a bunch of bumps on him, and they're like, oh shit, he has measles. We'll call him Lumpy.
I think all like Lumpy and Itchy. I think those are the names that like Han, like, because he can't say their full names or whatever. So that's like Han's nicknames for them. Like he's Chewie, It's not like he's like, I'm Chewbacca, but you can call me Chewie. Like he's just like.
I think you're right, because I think Itchy's real name is like Ichibaka or something.
Yeah, it's something some.
Those are family names. Let's be respectful.
Yeah, God-given Bible names.
So we'll put Solo in D. Now we should do the OG trilogy. Let's start with A New Hope. I think this is good, not great. I think we're hovering in A or B. It's also the one that kicks it all off and was a huge hit, and I think that counts for something.
It's hard, it's hard to put that lower than an A just because we wouldn't have any of it without it.
I'd go C.
Really?
But that's just me. I thought it was it's whatever,
The cultural impact of this movie.
Right. I understand that.
It's like it's kind of like someone who doesn't like the Beatles. It's like, you don't have to like the Beatles, but you can't deny the Beatles.
Yeah.
That's kind of how
they did everything.
Yeah, it's kind of how I look at the expression 50 million Elvis fans can't be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's how I look at a lot of things, where it's like, even if I don't love it, like, I'm obviously wrong. Like, when people are like, I don't like Taylor Swift, it's like, you might not, but like, look how many people do. You can't deny her. Undeniable is the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
And
you can even talk about the president of the United States, right, Robbie?
Yeah, absolutely.
But if I was listing my favorite musicians, I wouldn't be like, well, I don't like Taylor Swift, but because she's so popular, I'll put her at A.
But like, if I was asked, if you gave me a list of artists to rank, like, this isn't my favorite. We're not doing our favorites, because like, I would probably put. No, actually, this is probably a pretty good estimation right now. But like, if you ask me to rank like country artists in this scenario, or like just musical artists, and Taylor Swift was one of those, I would have to say, like, I'm not a huge fan, but she's undeniable. I'd have to put her in A or S. It's the same thing with like, Jay-Z. I'm not a big Jay-Z fan, but the guy's a billionaire, and at the end of the day, it's like, that's why award shows are so stupid. You're all millionaires. You've all won.
Mm-hmm. It's just a bunch of rich assholes patting themselves on the back.
Yeah.
You've all, like, every award show. These should be the categories. And the artist who made the most money is. And the artist who had the most streams is. Like, those should be the awards.
That would be interesting, actually. That would be more interesting to me.
Like, because, then it's not just
like statistics.
Then it's not just a group of people in the fucking shadows going, ooh, no, they're the best actor and they're the best artist.
It's the Emperor.
And they say, do it.
Taylor Swift's A tier.
Execute order 66.
Well, like, just do that. Problem solved.
Execute 1985 Taylor's version.
All right, I guess so. A tier. I mean, I'd go B, just because it's not very exciting.
It's kind of boring. It is.
Yeah. And like, I get that it's the first one and it's a huge blockbuster. It's a monolith in culture, but like, you look back at it and you're like, it was all right.
I agree. I think that if we were gonna go off of like importance, we could just go and look at the how much money each of these movies made, and then we wouldn't need to make a list.
That's a great point too. Right. But like, hold on. If we're doing that, then like, I guess these new ones are gonna be S tier all day.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Rob, you like Rogue One a lot.
I do.
Is Rogue One better than A New Hope?
I think they're about the same. I think, again, I am blinded by the cultural impact that this is the one that started it all. It's kind of like, it's kind of like cartoons. When you watch old Looney Tunes or old Disney cartoons, are they the best? No. but you have to rank the Looney Tunes in the top 10 cartoons of all time because of their impact.
Sure.
I mean, I would rank them in the top 10 because I genuinely think they're awesome. They're great.
Oh, I do
Love 'em.
too.
I don't know.
But
I
you
think,
you like the racism aspect.
no, I like the violence. I just like
Ah.
violence.
Yeah, we know.
The animal
Unwarranted
violence, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
the hunting.
yeah,
and,
yeah.
the
Just like
duck and rabbit
shooting,
hunting.
shooting someone in the face for a laugh is funny to me.
I
That's
like the
fair.
educational aspects. Like I didn't know you could take a duck's bill and put it on the back of his head. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I personally would go B. Just like, and that's with all the cultural impact and all that stuff. It's still because like, if I put this on now, I'll probably fall asleep halfway through. You know, it's
I could go either way.
It's kind of boring, but I also understand the impact, and at times it is exciting, but for the most part, it's I don't know, it's kind of a snooze fest for me.
I really like A, so I'm gonna let Mark be the deciding vote.
Oh boy. I guess A. Yeah. I do find it difficult to put it in B. So,
I lose again.
yeah. Sorry, Andy.
All right,
That's quite all right.
we're moving on to The Empire Strikes Back.
That's an S, brother.
Yeah. That's an
No,
S tier movie.
No conversation needed on that. I think we're all in agreement.
Yeah,
I've said
that's-
it a billion times, and I'll say it a billion more. The entirety of this franchise is riding on the good graces of this movie.
That's a fair point.
They made one really good one.
I
Yeah.
mean, A tier is still really good. They made
Yeah.
one great one.
There
Yeah.
you go. There you go.
There's one great one. And now, we're doing in the order we covered them, so we're going Return of the Jedi. Or we could do the Christmas special, because I believe that was after A New Hope.
It was after A New Hope.
Do you want to do a Christmas special real quick?
Oh, well,
S, obviously.
I thought we were
Or
doing in the
sucked.
I thought we were doing in the order we covered them.
Let's do it. Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
This is one I'd put in B tier. I hate the Ewoks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
this
agree.
this is quintessential Star Wars dicking around when there's a
Mhm.
point. There's like you got to sew one plot hole, like the one dangling thread, and you're just letting it dangle so you know the boys can dick around in the jungle. Get that shit out of my fucking face! You wasted an hour and a half of my life, brother, for a 15-minute scene at the end. Yeah, I would go lower, but B's fine.
I think it's better than Revenge of the Sith. Just like as
I
like
don't know.
its merit as a movie, like the fact. I mean, I don't know. It's
For
less
me-
of a mess.
Yeah, it's less of
Yeah.
a mess. Just cut out all the Ewok shit, man. I don't need
Yeah.
these teddy bears.
But the thing, if you cut all that out, the movie's like literally 20 minutes long. Because
It was
there's
supposed to be-
really, they're not doing anything in this movie other than, all right, they do the rescue at, what's his faces, the big hut guy, Jabba the Hutt.
Mm-hmm.
The big
that.
hut guy.
the big
Gotta
hut.
say.
Pizza the Hut. Yeah.
Pizza the Hut. There you go. But they do that, and then all you have to do after that, all right, you got Han Solo back. Although he could have died because he doesn't do anything.
Right.
That's why they did that. Apparently, Harrison Ford wasn't sure if he wanted to come back for the third one. I guess so. They wrote off the ending where it's we can go either way.
Yeah.
Smart.
But the way like they bring him back and then he still just doesn't do anything. The only thing left to do is like, all right, Luke has to either bring Vader to the light side or Luke's gonna go to the dark side. We don't know. Let's see what happens. And they just dangle that in front of you the entire time while
Yes.
everybody's dicking around in the jungle. Oh, C-3PO's their god. I don't give a shit. It's bad, but like the payoff is pretty good, but the whole thing is bad.
That's my problem. If the payoff's good, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, if you leave on
Like-
if you leave on a good note, it's hard to remember the sour taste. I get it.
All right, let's go. Where are we going? B?
That's where I'm thinking.
You know, I think it would have been better. Originally, it was going to be Wookiees instead of Ewoks.
That would have been better.
And that's why they did in Revenge of the Sith. They had that whole like Wookiee scene because they were trying to, I guess, make up for lost time.
Chewbacca.
Yeah, why?
That
Why?
one guy we all know. You know him, right? All right. Well,
You know Chewbacca? I know Chewbacca.
Pause for applause. All right, let's do the Christmas special.
All right.
That's an F,
Yeah.
brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
That's.
Can it be lower? Can we put it below the Ewok movies? Like, yeah.
All right. Christmas special. That's an F tier,
There's
whatever that is.
A new tier below F. That's just Christmas special.
Yeah, Christmas-
One of the rankings.
yeah.
So now we're on to the Disney trilogy.
hmm
We're going with The Force Awakens, which I think is still the best of these three movies because
It
it's
is.
just a New Hope again.
Yeah.
I kind of think we're hovering in B or C here. Let me know what you guys think.
Yeah, I'd say B.
Yeah, B.
I think I'd watch that over Return of the Jedi.
Oh, so I'll give it a high B.
Yeah, high B.
Oh, high B.
Like if someone was like, "Do you want to watch Return of the?" Obviously, if I watched Star Wars and Empire, then I'd watch Return of the Jedi. But
Yeah.
if someone was just randomly, "Which one do you want to watch?" I'd probably pick Force Awakens.
Yeah. You
That
think
makes
I can
sense.
hit a high B? Here we go.
Try it. We didn't hear anything.
My dog
Damn.
heard it.
Well, then just know I
He's going nuts.
just know I hit it. Mariah Carey's on the phone.
Oh my god.
Says she's jealous.
Is her
Really?
Her summoning
Yeah.
call is that pitch?
That's the high B. Yep.
Woken her from her slumber early.
Yeah.
Is it Christmas time?
Yeah.
So we're doing The Last Jedi. I hate these last two movies. I was very clear about that when we covered them.
Yeah.
I don't like them. So as far as I'm concerned, I try to be fair and say we're sitting C or D with Last Jedi. You people tell me what you think, and I'll tell you why.
You
you're wrong.
people. Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
say C.
I think, if it's a matter of, I'd rather watch probably Last. Yeah, I don't know. think
I
it's a
would rather
better-
watch Revenge of the Sith.
I think Last Jedi might be like a better made movie, but like it's not a good Star Wars movie.
I'd rather watch Phantom Menace than The Last Jedi.
Well, I don't know if I'd rather do that.
Yeah, I think that The Last Jedi is a Star Wars movie through and through because it's doing the same thing that Return of the Jedi did, where it's like, oh, you got a thing to do, but let's just stick around for a while.
Classic
Oh,
Star
let's
Wars.
just chicken
Classic
out of
stuff.
everything we want to do.
Yeah.
Right, but like the stuff, and we discussed this, the stuff that they do, the big swings.
Doo doo.
But like the big swings, I like them. Like I like what they did with Luke. I like what they did with Rey and Kylo.
Mhm.
I like all that stuff, and I wish they did it with a little more confidence.
Yeah.
And they kind of cut out all the cannon fodder, like the nonsense that we also spoke of. Because
Yeah, we have to spend 40 minutes at a casino.
Yeah, like I remember thoroughly enjoying this movie until you guys were like, "No, you didn't," and I was like, "Oh shit, you're right." So, I like the good. I think what they do with all the Jedi stuff, all the Force and
Yeah.
Jedi stuff is great. Everything else is trash, and get it the fuck out of here.
And it's also part of the thing for me that I hate about this movie is all the chances they had to just kill off Leia,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but instead
Oh,
they
yeah.
have to keep her alive. So then it affects the next movie where we're getting it. She's like spliced in, and it looks like shit.
Yeah, and I mean they had chances to kill off Rose, who doesn't do anything in the next movie. They had chances to kill off Finn, who also doesn't really do anything in this movie. It would have been more meaningful if they built these characters up and then killed them.
Mhm.
You know,
I think,
narratively it would be better.
Put some stakes for the last movie, you know?
yeah, and I also think this is the weakest of the three trilogies because
Yes.
of
Well,
all the time we spend dicking around with guys who ultimately go nowhere. Because
Yes.
at least at the end of the prequel trilogy, everyone's either dead or where they need to be. At the end of this, everyone's just still alive. You know what I
but
mean?
just taking
Or-
up space. Yeah,
that's how it ends. That's how Return of the Jedi, everyone's just still A1. What
yeah,
else?
but
Yeah.
like,
Chewie gets a
that's
medal.
but that's the issue with.
But they weren't
Return of the
introducing new
Jedi.
characters in Return of the Jedi other than the Ewoks. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the Ewoks are the same as these stormtroopers, where it's like, who the fuck are these people?
Yeah.
Why do I care? And then we don't even kill them?
Well, that's the thing with Return of the Jedi. Like everybody's still alive, but to what end? It would just wasted all of our time.
Mhm.
You know, like again, the only thing that movie had to do was tie up the Jedi stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about the fucking war. We know everybody's gonna be fine. It's whatever. It's all the
Yeah.
Jedi shit. That's the good stuff. And they keep
That's
going
true.
back to like, oh, it's just a guy with a blaster. I don't give a shit. I
Right.
don't give a shit.
Mhm.
But,
I think that I would watch Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker over Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones. For me, those are the two bottom.
Okay.
I would watch Last Jedi again.
So where we going with Last Jedi?
A high D.
A high D?
I would keep it in C.
You would keep it in C?
I would keep it in C. Yeah, just because the good stuff is really, really good.
Okay. And then we can put
I'll give it a low C.
A low C.
It's also a beautiful movie.
It is.
It looks good. Yeah.
It is.
All right. I hate Rise of Skywalker. I hate this. I
Yeah,
think
it's
this movie
toothless.
it's toothless. It's annoying. Rose is just every now and then being like, "I'm here, guys."
Yeah, remember me?
C-3PO's back, just being annoying.
Yeah.
It's just as messy as I wouldn't say F, but I think it's easily as messy as Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. Like it's all over the place.
I would rather watch Phantom Menace than Rise of Skywalker again.
I think it's another instance of like, oh, like it used better cameras and the special effects look better, so I would watch that. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Well, but again, I like some of the stuff like when she uses lightning and she blows up that ship. That's like, oh shit, that's fucking cool. She did
Yeah.
a bad guy move. That's cool.
Yeah, I wish they expanded on that, or like
I
just
sure
did
do, too.
anything
Yeah.
with that.
Anything,
Other than
'cause,
it
like-
happened for 2 seconds.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, guys, don't worry. There was another transport.
Yeah,
If they had her kill Chewie, how great would that be?
that would have been
Inc-
good.
Th-
That would've
that
been
alone,
shocking.
that alone would bring this movie up
Yeah,
Yeah.
That would've been
because
truly
something
shocking.
happened.
Yeah. I would go D because I would watch this before I watch Phantom Menace.
All right, I'll go D.
Yeah,
Mark, what do you think? D?
that's fine for me. Over Phantom Menace, under Solo.
Yeah. And I know that a lot of people's issue with this is that she says she's Skywalker at the end. I don't really give a shit, to be honest.
Yeah,
No, 'cause it doesn't
that's
matter.
It
fine.
bothered me. Yeah, it didn't bother me.
think
It didn't make me happy. I didn't care.
I think for me, it's less like I like the idea that it's like, oh, I mean, everything, it's just like Fast and the Furious. It's all about family, and it's like there's something to be said about your chosen family. Like choosing,
Yeah.
like she's choosing to be good and not bad, even though her bloodline would dictate that. And I think that's important. I think it's weird that some lady in the desert was like, Ray, who? Like, what do you care? We're in the desert and I'm at a hut. Like, why do you care what my last name is? What the fuck?
Yeah. And also,
Who are
like,
you? Who are you, desert lady?
And Ray felt the need to tell her. Like, she could have just been like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, Skywalker.
And people
Yeah.
keep doing that. They're like, "Hi, this is Pinfo. This is Pinfo and Ray." And then they're like, "Oh, Ray who?" It's like, "Well, what about the other two? You don't give a shit about them? Like, you don't care about their last names?"
I assume their last names are Solo, right?
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
well, Finn doesn't. Finn's not even his actual name. His this FN123 or whatever. Fuck.
Yeah.
My name's actually a code.
I have a QR code as a name, so you can
My
call
name
me
is
Finn.
my name is a suggested password.
Google says it's a strong password.
Yeah.
Guys, we've done it.
Yeah. Solved world peace.
Yep, that's what we've done.
All right, so in F we got Ewok movies and the Christmas special.
Fair.
In
Yeah.
E we got Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
In D we got Solo, Rise of Skywalker, and Phantom Menace. In C we got Last Jedi and Revenge of the Sith. B we got Force Awakens, Return of the Jedi. And A we got A New Hope, Rogue One. And S we got Empire Strikes Back. If
Yeah.
you disagree, fuck you. No,
No.
email in.
Andy, that's not how discourse works.
You're right. email in. Let us know what you think. Where would you rank your Star Wars? Send us a tier list of your own.
I think a lot of people would be largely on board with most of this.
Yeah, I think this is fair.
Yeah. And then, again, this is a ranking of Star Wars movies as Star Wars movies. This is not a ranking of these movies as movies.
No, because then the
Right.
Christmas special would be an S.
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah, it's just, it doesn't fit in the theme of the other movies.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It's a fantastic watch, yeah.
I think that we have a pretty good panel here. Like, Mark, I feel like you take the place of like a super fan, like you're a big Star Wars fan. It's in your blood, you know.
Yeah.
Rob,
Yeah,
you're
all those midichlorians.
yeah.
Qui-Gon had it tested. They're in there.
Rob, I feel like you were indoctrinated young. You know, you grew up with Star Wars, but you also know that there is some not so great Star Wars.
There's a lot of
Mark.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you're not all the way there. Like Mark's there. Mark loves Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, I would still say those movies are awful, though.
Of course. Like you are reasonable.
I just like playing with the toys.
Right.
I'm one of those people who think lightsabers are cool, pod racing's cool. Like, there's a lot of cool shit in Star Wars, and I'm like, let's go.
That's all Disney cares about, Rob.
Exactly. They got me because I'm still watching it. I'm sitting there shitting on it going, this sucks, I need more.
Yeah. Let's see if they fix it in the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then we got me, who is a newcomer, and you know what? I think I'm in the more of the Robbie camp. I enjoy what I enjoy, but there's also a lot of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that, Mark, you're saying that there's no bullshit. You are fully on board with there being bullshit in Star Wars.
But I have a higher tolerance for sure.
Right.
I think I might have a higher tolerance than most people for terrible movies, but I mean, that's just a different conversation.
But like, I think that Star Wars is generally very good. Like, like as a whole, it's cool. It's very cool. Could it be better? Yes. You could make the greatest story of all time with these elements.
Oh yeah.
But somebody fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta get the right writer and director, and in this universe, you could, like you said, like you could do anything to the point where this is an amazing story or this is trash. And I think it all depends on the team. And I think that's a great thing. I mean, if we were to do Fast and the Furious movies, you know, I feel like it'd be everything was a D, you know, like maybe something was a C, but like, you know, look how widespread this I was a little afraid that there was going to be like a bunch of S's and A's and then E's and F's because there's not that much middle ground, but you know, this is a pretty widespread, you know, two in the bottom, 1, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, you know, it's.
Yeah. Star Wars is very diverse in quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in their casting now.
Yeah.
Well, that's although so you're gonna hear a lot of complaints about that.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
I have this guy at work, and he comes in. This is just happening to come out the week that like Kathleen Kennedy was announced. She's like gone or whatever.
Yeah.
Is she gone?
Or she's like
She's
leaving or
retiring
something.
or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Okay, continue.
And like, I don't understand. I'll be honest. I don't know what her input is. I've never understood why. I hear people be like, "God, fuck Kathleen Kennedy." I was like, I don't know what she does.
She's like the Kevin Feige of Star Wars.
But I also don't blame her for like these movies being like me hating those movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like The Mandalorian was still good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's done. You know, Rogue One was good.
A project can thrive regardless of.
Yeah. So like, I can't sit here and be like, "Oh, Kathleen Kennedy sucks." I never understood that. But what's funny is this guy comes in and he's like, "Yeah, she made it a whole political thing. It's all a political statement." I was like, "No, it has the word wars in it."
No, it was always political.
Yeah. And that's something that's always boggled my mind is these old school fans who go, "Well, it never used to be political." What are you talking about?
Yeah. The
That's
first
crazy.
movies were a commentary on like World War II and Nazis and stuff, and then the second movie was a commentary on the Bush administration. Like, what are you talking? Same thing. They do the same thing with like Star Trek. Like, Star Trek's so woke. It's like, have you seen Star Trek? It's all
Shit,
about
always
like
been woke.
Yeah, what the hell are you talking about, dude? Like the
I
first
was-
interracial kiss on TV or whatever. Like,
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I was talking to my mom, and she's like, "Yeah, Neil Young's playing. He's a great concert until he talks, and he's all political." I was like, "Do you not listen to his lyrics at all?
Yeah,
the
are
whole
you
time.
nuts?
The whole
What the-
time.
What the fuck
Yeah.
do you think Alabama is about? What
I see
the
people
fuck?"
complain about Rage Against the Machine. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
what do you
yeah.
think
They're
the
like, wait,
machine was, you
where?
stupid piece of shit?
Where the machine?
Jesus Christ, these
Fucking
people
idiot.
don't listen to shit, and then they're and all of a sudden, the minute they speak, like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the. I don't know. It's where these are dark times. Everybody's an idiot.
Yeah. We're like right at the end of Revenge of the Sith, I think.
I was reading a book and it says like every 80 years history repeats itself. And like what happened 80 years ago? It's just like the writing's in the fucking sand, guys. Like what? It's just it's insane.
Ugh.
Everything's insane.
I hate sand. It's
Yeah,
coarse.
me
It
too.
gets
Gets in
everywhere.
your sandwich.
Yeah.
But
Everything here is soft and smooth.
I want
Star-
asphalt.
Star Wars is pretty good. It could be
Yeah.
so much better.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good. But also, what I wanted to say, Kathleen Kennedy, her name has been on a lot of great stuff like Jurassic Park,
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. So like, I think she worked her way up
Mhm.
to through legitimacy,
Yeah.
and then she was placed in the most in charge of the most angry fan base,
Yeah.
Right.
of all
She's-
time. So it's
she
like,
started off as like a production assistant to Steven Spielberg, and then
Yeah.
basically worked her way up. Yeah.
yeah, shit. But her name's on a lot of great stuff. So like, I doubt that she's like, I think we need to ruin Star Wars. Like I think it's Star Wars, and it lives in a spot in everybody's mind where it's like, this is great, and then if anything new comes out, it's like, it's not as great. I hate it.
Yeah.
Like, all right, just-
She's the scapegoat for a franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Where that the fans hate.
To be
Right.
fair, though, like people like, if there's someone to blame for not having thought of a whole story for the sequel trilogy, I mean, I would say that she's probably high on that list of people that decided we should just make it up as we go along.
yeah.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
that's fair, but you used two different directors with three different. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that's true, but like at some point, you can't have one director come on and then go, and then I'm just gonna leave it. Like that's
Yeah.
I blame J.J. Abrams. I blame Ryan Johnston.
Yeah.
Well, from my understanding, they were all like J.J. Abrams was supposed to start it, and Ryan Johnson was supposed to take it to the end.
Was he? I thought Colin Trevorrow or whatever was going to direct the
Yes,
third one.
but then after, there was apparently it was Ryan Johnston was doing everything. I don't know. I could be wrong.
And then after Last Jedi, they were like, nope.
Yeah, they were like, wait, people are upset.
There was talk, and maybe I'm conflating, or maybe you're conflating, but there was talk of before Last Jedi came out, they were like, we're giving Ryan Johnston a whole trilogy of his own.
Yes, and that apparently that's still up in the air.
Yeah.
I don't see that
Who
happening.
knows? Yeah,
No,
who knows
no.
at this point?
They were handing out trilogies. They were giving a trilogy to the two guys that were the showrunners for Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Until
Yeah.
the last season of Game of Thrones came out, and then they were like, actually, never mind.
Yeah, but they like rushed the last season of Game of Thrones because they got the Star Wars deal.
Yeah.
And then
they're like,
that
well,
failed,
yeah,
and then they were like, "You're fired." Actually, and they're like, "Fuck."
I know.
Well,
No.
hey,
Finish
and
what you started.
the one person they wouldn't give a trilogy to, Zack Snyder. So he said, "I'm gonna make Rebel Moon."
Yeah.
Oh, previous episode, check it out. That's bad.
Yeah. I
That's
haven't even
worse.
seen it. I feel like I
Rebel
need
Moon
to.
is worse than both Rebel Moons are worse than Attack of the Clones.
Goodness.
Oh yeah, dude, they're F tier for sure. They're
F.
bad.
They're horrendous. Yeah, you know what? Consider Zack Snyder's two Rebel Moon movies in F tier.
I love the Zack Snyder fanboys. I think it's so fucking funny. I don't know
Yeah.
why. It's just like, dude, have you really watched those movies? Because I don't know what the fuck.
Oh my god, they were so long and boring. But that's not why we're
Yeah.
No.
No, it's not.
No. We're here to talk about other Zack Snyder movies.
here. Martha.
Do
Yeah.
you think that if they didn't take this out of George Lucas's hands, that it would be any better?
I didn't think he would have done anything.
I think he would have. Because he had plans. I just as long as he didn't try to direct them.
So he,
You know,
from what I understand, he basically unloaded these because of everyone's outrage to the prequel trilogy, and he's just like, fine, you don't want me to do it, I'll give it to someone else. I think he
For
kind
$1
of
billion.
did it. Classic baby George Lucas.
yeah.
Hands off a whole franchise just because he's butthurt, but you know.
If he just took it, wrote the outline of the story, and then went to a production company and said, okay, let's work this,
Yeah.
he could actually do something.
He did
Instead
give
of just,
them notes.
oh, I'm sure they really helped.
They threw them out the window, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do we have anything more to say about the Star Wars franchise?
Not until they make more movies.
It's a great point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, we never did Solo, I guess, but that's okay.
Yeah, well, maybe one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the people want it, send an email, put a comment on the Instagram or whatever. We'll check it out.
Mark, you got anything you want to promote?
No, just this podcast, and I'll be on the podcast soon, so watch out for that episode.
That is true. All right, check us out on the socials: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, TheRoydsBand. There we are, there we be. You can also find us on Reddit at TheRoydsBand. Send us an email at roydsreview@gmail.com. Wherever you're listening to us, give us a 5-star rating and review. Andy, where can they find our tunes and jams?
Oh, you go to Apple Music, Deezer, Spotify, wherever you get your
Jam
music.
tune.
Yeah, and you type in the Royds and you'll find a whole bunch of music, including podcast songs, other songs. But if you want everything, you go to TheRoyds.bandcamp.com. You'll see everything, including bonus songs, guest songs, every song by the Royds. Also, everything's on the YouTube, as Robbie mentioned. That's pretty cool. Yeah, make sure you tell your friends. Word of mouth is huge. Word of mouse, of course. And word of Klaus. Tell anyone anybody you know whose name is Klaus.
Yeah.
That's
Hello.
important.
Double points if you know a mouse named Klaus.
Oh my god.
Really good.
The Inception. But
What?
I don't know. It's just
It's just a mouse named Klaus.
rhymes upon rhymes upon rhymes. It's like the universe folding in on itself.
Andy cannot handle poetry.
Word
No,
of
not at all,
mouth
dude.
from a mouse named Klaus.
Dude, my ears are bleeding. Something is ruptured within me. Well, yeah. Please leave a 5-star review. Tell your friends. We really appreciate you listening. I believe next week. I don't know when you're airing this. When you're putting this out.
It's coming out this week. I'm gonna put it out this week.
Okay, so next week is. What do we do after Star Wars?
Andy, that is a great question. I love when you ask questions like that. Do you know why? Because
Why is
what
that?
it does is it lets the listeners know what they have to look forward to. Because if we don't tell
Yeah.
them that, we're not doing any proper promotion. So it's really important for you to ask those questions. And this coming Monday, we are doing the Boondock Saints, getting ready for
Boondock
St.
Saints.
Patrick's Day.
Yeah, Boondock Taints.
Oh, shit. The Boondock Ain'ts, because that movie ain't shit.
Oh shit! Spoiler alert.
We've already recorded that. We are joined by our good friend Pat Dunn on that episode. Another good Irish boy.
Yeah.
We got 2 redheaded dudes and 2 Irishmen on that episode, and they're not the same 2 people.
Yep.
It's like a riddle. It's like 3 mothers are in a waiting room, and there's only 2 chairs.
All right. Well, we'll see you lady.
Bye, everybody.
So long. Thanks for listening. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for joining
It was
us.
a pleasure. Yeah.